Hello everybody, my name is Kyle639 and welcome back to another video. Today in this one, I want to talk to you about Age of Overlord. Age of Overlord looks to be one of the most impactful sets of the year, containing a lot of good quality cards that could change the meta for the future. We have the new Diabellstar / Snake Eyes engine. Basically, their gimmick is to special summon level 1 fires from their deck as fast as possible, so those could be nice splash engines and something like Rescue. We have the new Horus engine, which is kind of level 8 monsters that send themselves to graveyards for a couple of effects and then trying to special summon themselves back to the field, so that could be a nice splash into something like Tier Limit. We have the new TG stuff, which can completely revitalize the deck and maybe put it back into meta contention. We have new support cards for Labyrinth, Vanquished, and Manadeum. And we even have some good TCG exclusive cards in Ken the Dragon Warrior and Jin the Diamond Tiger. But I want to talk about two cards in particular, and that is SP Little Knight and Super Star Slayer Typhoon Sky Crisis. Today we're talking about Sky Crisis. Sky Crisis, or Anti-Zeus is probably a better name for it. I'll probably call it Anti-Zeus for the rest of the video. When initially revealed, was a very hyped card, but since then the hype has kind of died down. It's actually not even a secret rare in Age of Overlord, it's an ultra rare, which is very surprising to see. So in this video, I want to answer the question, is this card actually good, or was it just kind of overhyped? So in this video, I'll be covering the pros and the cons with Anti-Zeus, and at the end of the video, I will be giving you my conclusion and the answer to that question. So without further ado, let's get straight into the video. But before we can cover the pros and cons, we must cover the effect of Anti-Zeus. So Anti-Zeus is an XYZ monster that requires 2 level 12 monsters to make, and the effect reads as follows. If your opponent special summons 2 or more monsters from the extra deck this turn or the previous turn, you can also XYZ summon this card by using one monster you control with the highest attack, your choice if tied. Transfer its materials to this card. If summoned this way, you cannot no more special summon monsters for the rest of the turn. While you control this XYZ summon card, neither player can activate the effects of monsters with 3,000 or more attack. Once per turn, you can detach one XYZ hero from this card, return one monster on the field back to the hand. So that is the effect of Anti-Zeus. Now let's get into the pros. So what are the pros when it comes to Anti-Zeus? I actually got 3 of them for you. Number 1, it's a free special summon. So its condition to its special summon is if your opponent special summon from the extra deck 2 or more times during that turn or the previous turn, you can just special summon this card on top of the highest attack monster you control. That is basically just a free special summon when it comes to modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Sure, there's exceptions. You got like Flunder or any trap deck like Labyrinth that's probably not going to special summon 2 or more times from the extra deck, so probably dead against those matchups. But basically every other deck is going to be special summoning from their extra deck 2 or more times, so this will most likely always be live for you to make. Number 2, it can return a monster to hand. So not only is it a free special summon, you can also just detach material to return a monster back to hand, so it also acts as an interruption board as well, especially if you're going into a board, make this guy detach to kind of return shit back to hand. That is a very nice pro when it comes to that. And number 3, prevents monsters with 3,000 or more attack from activating. So it's basically a floodgate for monsters with 3,000 or more attack. So something like Zeus cannot activate under Anti-Zeus. Is why, where it's got its name, basically. So that's a pretty nice effect to have on it as well. So those are your pros with Anti-Zeus. Now let's get into the cons. So what are some cons when it comes to Anti-Zeus? We got 2 of them for you. Number 1, it is not good going first. This is not a going first card. So either you hard make it going first or you just don't make it, because for its cheat out condition, you need your opponent to special summon from the extra deck 2 or more times. It can be that turn or the previous turn. Doesn't really matter when they do it, as long as they do it, right? But going first is not going to do anything, right? There's not that many decks that's special summoning from the extra deck during your going first turn. The only one I can really think about is Tier Limit, and I mean, Tier Limit has been hit, so the current Tier Limit deck is probably not going to do it. So there's not that many things that pretty much do it going first. So this is pretty much a dead card going first. It's not going to do anything for you. Number 2, you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of the turn after this card is summoned. So its condition to its special summon effect is that you cannot no more special the turn or for the rest of the turn after this card was summoned that way. If you hard make it, obviously it's different, but who's hard making it? That's the real question. But so you can't really do anything after that. It prevents you from, you know, making your own Zeus on top of Sky Crisis, which is kind of probably a good thing because this is just a free special summon. So this kind of acts as a card of where when you're going second, you're going to break their boards with the cards you have, and then you're going to make this guy at the end of as your end board to return a card back to hand and hope to God they don't have anything else, right? So yeah, those are the cons when it comes to Sky Crisis. So in conclusion, was Anti-Zeus a good card, or is it just overhyped? I think it's a little bit of both. I think a little bit of A, I think a little bit of B. So it's a decent card. It's not the best card in the world. It's a decent card. Sure, it's a free special, and it has a little bit of interruption by returning card back to hand, but the cons really last a lot because you cannot no more special after this card is summoned, so it's not really that great when it comes to that. And it's not a quick effect for its compulse as well. Maybe if it was a quick effect, it could be very nice, but it's not, which is not good. It's not a good going first card, so you pretty much can't do it. Even its floodgate type effect where 3,000 or more attack cannot activate their effects. Even that in this current meta game is not that great. Sure, you can't activate something like Axis Code Talker when it boosts itself up to 5,300 or like Zeus, but pretty much everything else can still pretty much activate, right? Because like, sure, maybe you can't activate Rukalos or Kaleidopart under Anti-Zeus, but those cards are big enough where they can just beat over Anti-Zeus. So if you can't clear them, then they pretty much are just going to clear the Anti-Zeus anyway. So I don't think, sure, the card is okay. The card's okay, and it's a reason why it's an ultra rare, but it's probably a little bit overhyped as well because it's Anti-Zeus, right? It prevents Zeus from activating and stuff like that, but I just don't think the card is really that great in a position. I still think it's a card that you probably should pick up. Maybe there comes a meta where this card is insane, but as of right now, I don't think it's really that good of a card. So yeah, that is it for the video. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, leave a like and subscribe for more content on the channel, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.